Okay, what's up? Alex here. In today's video, I just want to talk about what does it mean to be in a low metabolic state. So yesterday on my Instagram, I was just talking about like fasting and why you shouldn't fast when you're in a low metabolic state. So in this video, I just want to go over what exactly it is to be in a low metabolic state and how to get out of it. So like symptoms of you to know if you're in a low metabolic state and ways to get out of it. So basically, when you're in a low metabolic state, it's basically when your body has a low metabolism. It's in a high chronic state. So when your body is producing a lot of stress hormones and it's making your organs to like basically slow down so you survive for longer. So think of it this way. When your body is really stressed out, everything slows down, so to keep you alive for as long as it can. So your heart rate goes down, your body temperature goes down, you have colds, hands and feet, you're more anxious, and you have more fatigue throughout the day. So the reason why you shouldn't fast when you're in a low metabolic state is because when you're in a stressful state, fasting is just gonna exaggerate it and make it even worse. So I wouldn't recommend fasting when you're in a low metabolic state. So when you're in a low metabolic state, your heart rate is gonna be low. So there's a team in the media saying that a low heart rate is actually a good thing, but it's actually wrong. Because think about it, athletes that run in the marathon, their bodies adapt to produce as much energy just so they can survive throughout the race. So they decrease their metabolism so they can burn as little calories as possible. But you want a high metabolism because that's going to increase your testosterone and overall other anabolic hormones. So an optimal heart rate would be around 80 to 86 beats per minute. So if you're looking to optimize your testosterone, I would look to increase your heart rate to 80 to 86 beats per minute. And I'll stick to the end of the video and I'll show you how to just do that. And the next thing is having cold hands and feet. So if you have cold hands and feet and over a low body temperature, you're in a low metabolic state. So an optimal temperature is, let me just read it off here. So it's just 87.5 to 98.6 Fahrenheit or 36.4 to 37 degrees Celsius would be an optimal body temperature. So now I'm just going to go over the things you should do. The things you should do to improve your low metabolic state. So the first thing is having your mineral levels right. So your potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium. So having the right levels of that. Then, so like not over hydrating yourself. So consuming a right amount of like sodium to the amount of water you're drinking. So that's why I tell a lot of people not to drink so much water, because you need to replace it with minerals. Okay. So next thing is a little thing you can try for yourself to see for yourself if you have a good reaction to a particular food. So I talk a lot about some foods that increase your testosterone and some foods that don't. So one way to go about that yourself is when you consume a type of food, so check your temperature, and then when you consume that food, if your temperature goes down or your heart rate goes down, that means you're not reacting to that food properly. That basically means when you consume that piece of food, whatever, nuts or whatever it is, your body is in a stress mode because it doesn't react properly to it. So like having food allergies, so make sure you check your food allergies, what you're allergic to, and don't consume them types of foods. So consuming more salt, carbohydrates, and overall total calories. So for me to have optimal testosterone levels and metabolic state, you need to have a high metabolism and you need to be consuming a lot of calories. I do not recommend to be in a caloric deficit unless you're outside the 8 to 15% body fat. So if you're above 15% body fat, yes, then I would go and cut down. But being like shredded or whatever is that. Like, that's a different type of goal. Being shredded, just from my opinion from now, this may change. I'm personally experimenting with trying to get to a lower body fat and see how that affects my testosterone. So from the research I seen, if you go below 8%, your testosterone is going to be damaged and overall being in a caloric deficit. But for now, I know for a fact when you're in a caloric surplus and you're in that 8 to 15% body fat, your testosterone will be higher. So consuming more calories will improve your metabolic rate. So if you have cold hands and feet in the morning or before you go to sleep, that would be a sign of a low metabolic state. So one way and one thing that may affect this is your environment. If you're in a hot country, you're obviously not going to notice it as much, and vice versa if you're in a cold country. So then by checking your actual pulse, like here, or having a smartwatch, like one thing I was looking to do, because I actually don't have a smartwatch, but because I really couldn't care less, but I was thinking of getting one, just because to be in that high, like 80 to 86 beats per minute. And then that's just my theory, no one said this out there, I'm just saying it now. And then being in a caloric deficit, and by looking at your watch, and on the days that you notice your heart rate is lower than it should be in that 80 to 86 heart rate, you would increase your calories. So I'm probably gonna try that out soon, just to see, because I've been experimenting with getting down to a lower body fat. But yeah, that was pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, give a like, and make sure there be a link in the description to join a Facebook group. That's where I'm going to be the most active. If you have any questions, and just get me one-on-one just to answer any questions you have. Can be anything like fitness to testosterone optimization. So yeah, join you there, and thank you for watching. See you.